All right. In today's episode, Joe and Reese discuss Avengers Age of Ultron and other Marvel-related things. Joe believes the Insiders had broken up for 10 years before recording Soundtrack to a Revolution. Oh yeah, Reese almost quit Five Iron Frenzy again. The Pickle and Boot Shop. We hope you hate it.
Joe and Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Get yourself a pickle. Get yourself a boot. Joe and Reese and Pickle and Boot Shop. Pickle time is happening. Pickle time. I go down to get some pickles. For your grandma and your kids. I go downtown. For your grandma and your kids. Boot time. Pickle and boot time. Don't be fickle, get your pickle cider, pop a nickel in your boots. Not a place of ill repute. Bring your grandma and your kids. Come for the pickles, stay for the squids. Stay for the squids. Boots. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. Put that pickle in your pants. Get some booze inside your hands. 1996, we start this.
What's going on?
Well, there's like a crazy lightning storm here, and Era kept crying when I wasn't holding her hand, and then I think she fell asleep.
Jeez. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna share with everybody here a story of mine.
Okay.
Shocker, I know. When I was a kid, I was absolutely terrified of thunderstorms.
Oh,
I was on a soccer field once, and lightning struck the fence that went around the soccer field.
really?
Yeah, and so they didn't call it. Parents are like, "Ref, you gonna call the game? Like the storm's coming in." He's like, "No, we need to get it in."
It's just
And it's like lightning in the distance, and the ref wouldn't call the game. He wanted to finish the game. So then, boom, lightning strike hits this fence that's probably about 200 yards. I would probably say about 200 yards from the soccer field.
haha.
But all of us could feel it in our feet.
Oh my gosh.
And
What did it
those
feel like?
it just like it at the distance that I remember as a kid, it just felt like you got like a shock, like if you touch a door handle or something
Okay,
like that.
like it was just a little.
Yeah, it was just like a little tick in your feet. However, there were people that were closer to the fence, and I saw people like fall down. Like people who were closer to the fence, it just buckled them.
Oh my
And
gosh.
so that scared me. And then
As it
another
should.
time, yeah. And then another time I was at a grocery store with my grandma, and lightning hit the building, the grocery store. There was this huge like boom inside the grocery store, and then all the power went out, and like people were like screaming and gasping, and so that really scared me. So my childhood, from I would probably say it started in about third grade. I started getting scared, and my phobia got so bad. It got so bad. This is the God's honest truth.
Yeah.
It got so bad that like in the summer, I'd be outside with my friends. It'd be a beautiful summer day. We'd be playing whatever out in the yard, out in the street. And if I saw one like cloud go by that was kind of dark,
Yeah.
I would run inside and go in the basement.
What?
Yeah. I was terrified, and I would like run into the basement and stuff. I was so bad that I got my dog to freak out the exact same way. So I got it to where my dog would like panic with me down in the basement, or if there were storms, and she didn't care about storms prior to that.
Then
And like I trained her to like be,
she could smell your fear.
yeah. So you know what made me stop, and I didn't hear this anywhere. I invented this on my own in about the 5th grade. So for 2 years, I was paralyzed by bad weather, and I used to love fall and winter because there were no thunderstorms.
Yeah.
And so what finally made me break it is I came up with this game when I was again, I didn't hear this anywhere. I just came up with it. So this game that I would do is I would like, if there was a bad thunderstorm, I would like be in the basement or I would be like in my room and I would just sit there and I would pretend I was a millionaire. And I would be like, okay, God, I want to hear, like on a scale of 1 to 10, like I want to hear the loudest thunderclap I've ever heard in my life. And I'd sit there and I'd wait and I'd wait and I'd wait for the lightning. And then I'd hear the thunder. And, you know, if the thunder was like,
yeah,
I'd be like, oh man, that wasn't anything. That was nothing. You don't get the 10 grand. You only get 5.
Oh, to
And
God.
then, yeah.
Like
and then
you're
I'd be
going
like,
to pay him more money if he makes a big one?
yeah. And so that's what I did. I sat there and I invented this game where I wanted to hear I wanted the ground to shake, the earth to tremble, and the house to rattle to hear. And then I'd be like, okay, you definitely earned that, $1 million. Like that was definitely worth $1 million. And I did that. And I did it for like a summer and completely switched my mind up. And now to this day, even yesterday, probably the storms that are rolling through your neck of the woods are probably part of the front that came through here with us.
Possibly.
Now it's like to the point where it's like a tornado warning and a severe thunderstorm warning. And I'm out on the porch. I'm watching the storm come in. I love watching storms come in over a lake. And like you just see the sheets of water, you see the lightning. I love storms now. I could be a storm chaser. I could do that. Not for my life, but if I won the lottery and was like, okay, I just have millions, what am I going to do this summer? I'm going to be a storm chaser. I would do that for like one summer.
Huh.
So that's how I beat my phobia of storms.
I was always tripped out. Like in Denver, they had some crazy, we would always have crazy lightning, and the front range of Colorado is like they get more hail than anywhere else in the world. And then they have these gigantic, like softball size hail. That happens like every 3 or 4 years. But these dudes would come from California, like our friends, and they just flip out. They'd be like, oh my God, lightning. Did you see that? And you'd be like, yep. Just flipping out. And then the best thing I ever heard. Do you remember that band Precious Death? Did you ever hear them?
I think so. My sister's yelling that she just pulled a batch of chocolate chip cookies out of the oven.
Jeez. So this is kind of
do I remember
band
Precious Death?
called
I
Precious
remember
Death.
the name. I don't remember any of their songs.
They were pretty rad. Like it was good, like Pantera-esque type metal. But we were kind of friends with those dudes, and I just remember some people from Denver. I overheard them being like, they were talking about how hard it is in California, and they're like, "You should move out here." And they're like, "How could you live in a place where ice falls from the sky?" It's just like, you also live in a place where ice falls from the sky. It's just like every 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, what?
That's funny.
What? God has cursed this place.
I think the largest like hail we get, like every now and then, it'll be like the size of like peas. You know, like the vegetable, like a pea. It'll be like that big.
Not the size of peas coming out of your penis.
Yeah, not like a Gatorade bottle full of urine.
A Gatorade bottle full of urine. Western Michigan, experienced an end to its drought today as a Gatorade bottle full of urine flew across the sky at the fields. The people are rejoicing. It hit one corn stalk, and we feel like it's going to make it.
The rejoicing in the streets for the precipitation that the state has needed in the form of urine-filled Gatorade bottle size hail. I remember us talking a long time ago. It was like, I think within our first like 5 episodes, I remember us talking about something. This is going to be completely useless. This could probably even be cut.
Do we cut anything, Joe?
It was like a measurement. Something was measured by something stupid. It was like, do you remember that? It was like,
yeah.
I think
I don't
we were talking
remember
about
what the measurement
meteors
was.
or something, and they measure meteors by like how many cows.
Mhm.
It was like something. It was like this is 5 horses. Like the size of this rock was 4 horses or something. It was the weirdest thing, like how to measure.
People, I don't know what a foot or a meter is, but I've seen a horse.
I've seen her. When I bake a cake, I use two shoefuls full of flour, and and I use an empty bullet casing full of nutmeg.
I like to make it the shape of 2 coiled opossums.
It's just so weird. So weird.
It's so weird. I want to talk about you made the skeleton for this show, and I inserted some things because I was like, what is he doing? What is he talking about? Joe, let's start. Starting off right now, you said intro catch up Avengers Age of Ultron. And my joke was also let's cover Superman 4 and On the Waterfront.
So I read what you did. Like I read what you added, and I was like, Superman 4?
What the hell? That's
like, what is
old.
I was like, I gotta rewatch it. I'm not gonna be able to help with that.
On the Waterfront.
Now I will come back to that.
Is On the Waterfront where he yells Stella? Is that what old people are talking about all the time?
I don't know what On the Waterfront is.
Marlon Brando?
I don't know that one.
I don't either, but I am always just flabbergasted how many times people from baby boomer generation are like, Stella!
I do
like,
know that.
What
like,
are
I
you
do know
talking
people
about?
yell that, but I don't know
People
what that
yell it.
is.
Also,
Isn't that from a streetcar named
Is it?
Desire?
also they'll be like, I'm going to take you down to Chinatown. They say that. You're like,
No, but isn't
Well, can we
Stella
get-
from a
get some
streetcar
dim
called
sum?
Desire?
I don't know.
And
I
I've
haven't
never seen
either
that
one.
either.
Nope.
I think that's what that's from.
Yeah. This is what our kids are like. If they're like, I love you. And you're like, I know. Like, why is dad weird?
I know. I just had my daughter, Mia, just at dinner tonight. We were talking about stuff, and she goes, "That's why you're so weird." I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, how am I so weird?
I'm normal. Everyone
Yeah.
else is weird.
I'm normal. You're weird because you took the red pill. I can just
Jeez,
see
kids.
clearly. I took the white pill.
I woke up. I woke up in a pool of my own mucilage, and everything was shaved off. Then
And
I
was
went down
rubbing
the slip and
hobo's
slide.
feet. I was rubbing the bunions on a hobo's feet while he told me tales of the salty sea.
You guys are the weird ones.
Yeah. Age of Ultron. I put it on there because I pressed play on it the other day on old Disney Plus.
Uh-huh.
Man, that was a good movie. Have you gone
Yeah.
back and
Yeah.
rewatched
Yeah.
it?
Yeah. Yes, I agree.
Age of Ultron
You
is
forget
great.
because you're just like, because the things that came after that, you're like, they kind of, Joss Whedon had kind of a falling out with Marvel, and you're like, yeah, I could see it could have been better here, it could have been better here when it came out. But then if you watch it, you're like, dude, it's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Age of Ultron. And it's not, I always get the two guys mixed up. I always get Kevin Spacey and who's the guy who's the voice of Ultron?
James Spader.
Yes, I always get those two guys mixed up.
Okay.
Like their names. Like I obviously I could tell the difference when I see them.
Yeah.
I think I know their names, but when I'm trying to think of their names off the top of my head, I get them mixed up. But James Spader, that voice of Ultron,
So cool.
it is amazing. And
Right.
like how it goes from like when he's that busted up robot at the party,
Yeah.
and he's like, you guys, like, and he's talking, he's like, you guys are killers. And he's trying to compute. And it's like this day and age, when every day we're reading something new about AI. And then you go back to then, and it's like Ultron, and his brain is still like growing and processing it. And like the AI is trying to figure out like how the world works. And then he's like coming up with like the Avengers, like, you guys are the killers. And that voice, and then as his brain,
voice, yeah,
like
so good.
as his brain and his matrix or whatever, like grows throughout the movie, like that voice becomes more confident and stronger. And then he knows that, like, he knows exactly what he's thinking, and he speaks it, and he thinks it with confidence. Whereas in the beginning, he's trying to figure it out, and his voice is all, I'm lost. Who else is in here? And it's Jarvis.
Yeah.
And Jarvis is like, I feel like you're hostile. Like you're a hostile. And he's like, no, I'm trying to figure this out. I just think it was so awesome. And I forget about it because automatically my brain goes to like Endgame.
Yeah.
And Infinity War and Guardians of the Galaxy. And you go back to the first Iron Man and the Captain America movie. And I wasn't big on like Civil War or there's a few duds in there, and you start to, and Age of Ultron gets lost.
It does.
It gets lost in there. And it is such a good movie.
It is such a good movie. Like my complaint with Civil War we talked about is that it is billed as like a third Captain America movie when they should have just called it another Avengers movie, which is basically what it was. I mean, like,
or just don't call it Civil War.
Yeah, because it didn't really do any justice. It kind of bit off that comic run, but didn't do any justice to it.
Captain America 2 and had the same plot. Just don't call it Civil War, because now what you've done is you've wasted a storyline.
Yeah.
You've wasted an arc that, yes, maybe now you don't have any plans to do it. But when Disney has sucked the teat almost dry, and you need, like, who's to say 30 years from now they don't do the civil, you know what I mean? Or 10 years from now they don't start down that road of the Civil War, and you've already, I mean, it's not like
they've already used the title.
Let's be honest. They've done 10 different Spider-Mans, but
I bet you $10 they're planning on rebooting everything
for the next generation.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think that they're still testing the water on like what still works here. But I also do, and mark my words, you'll see Ultron again. Like, I'm positive all these dudes are coming back in the Secret Wars.
I hope so.
I mean,
that's the thing with like the multiverse and stuff. I mean, all the guys that you thought were dead can come back. Thanos can come back, and everybody can come back.
Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Steve Rogers. Like, they're all like, well, I wouldn't rule out doing another Marvel movie, but I don't want to. I'm kind of past that. But they're not really saying no because they're sworn to secrecy. If you were going to make the Secret Wars, wouldn't you just be like, just sign this? Like, we'll give you 20 million, 100 million to Robert Downey Jr. just for a cameo. Just be in this. Like, just be Tony Stark one more time.
Yeah.
Like, they have to. I mean, like, they can make one more epic move, and it's the Secret Wars.
And I think back to like, I know we've talked about it on a prior episode, but it still rings true today. I don't understand you, like, the comic book world has put out decades and decades and decades and decades of amazing storylines.
Uh-huh.
Amazing storylines.
Yeah.
And then like Disney comes along, they hire a producer, they hire a director, they hire a writer, and then they're like, okay, rewrite this, like rewrite Civil War.
I don't
Like,
think that's Disney. I think Disney is just like Marvel is working. You can use our studio and you can use everything we've got. ILM, use like for Captain America, the first Avenger, they were like, yeah, we've got an orchestra standing by. We'll write you a song.
well, I guess I just mean whoever is in charge of putting out the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Like, just stick to all these amazing people throughout the history that have comic books are what they are because of those writers.
Yes.
You know,
I think
we talked about it in terms of G.I. Joe. Do you remember that episode?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Because
Why
the
wouldn't you
movies
just
suck.
do G.I. Joe the way it is in the comic books?
Yeah.
Just do it like that in the movie.
Yes.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
Because
But
I think
instead they just like license the
Hasbro and
characters.
not Marvel.
Yeah. They just like license the characters and they come up with their own stupid movie.
Right.
Just stick to what is in the comic books already. I think it's a home run.
Yeah. I agree. I think, yeah, I feel like Marvel is doing that, but I feel like they're digging out a lot from the fact that they sold off all their properties for movies in the 90s. You know, like they still don't have access to all the Spider-Man characters. They got Spider-Man because the North Koreans hacked into Sony, you know, like, and released all their emails, and they figured out that there was discussion of Marvel taking back Spider-Man and then putting out movies together where they crossed over with the Avengers. That's the reason that they rebooted Spider-Man with not with Andrew Garfield, with what's the dude's name? The new guy.
Holland.
Yeah, that's why. Because it came out in the open and people were like, what? Sony, you're so stupid. Fix this. And they did, and it's made like $1 billion each movie. But they still have.
Sony owns like Venom.
They own Venom. They own Craven, which is coming out. And that actually was cool.
Blade.
No, Blade went back to Marvel.
Okay.
There's, what was that one with freaking that weird dude, the vampire, Morbius.
Yeah.
That's theirs. I mean, there's like a ton of Spider-Man characters that they're trying to profit off, but they're not doing it well because they're not following the comic books.
Yeah,
but then, like,
bizarre.
they just got the Hulk back, like this month. Marvel got it back from Universal. So there's a ton of like Hulk adjacent characters that they couldn't touch, like
Rhino.
No, Rhino is part of Spider-Man. Have you seen the Craven trailer? Yeah.
Yeah, I did, but
it's all the Spider-Man villains. So like, it's like the Green Goblin, Hobgoblin, Rhino,
I didn't
the
see
Vulture, Electro, Mysterio, like all those dudes. But like in Craven, it looks like they're adding the Rhino. Yeah, the trailer looks rad.
Because, who are the Hulk? Because I always thought the Hulk villains were I thought it was Rhino, the leader.
The leader looks like they're bringing that dude back.
I have Leader's first appearance. I have the comic book of the Leader's first appearance. Yeah.
So I think they're bringing that guy, and it's, what's his name that was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? That was in the Hulk movie with Ed Norton,
where it drips on
and
his
Liv
head.
Taylor.
And
Liv Tyler's in it.
Pulsating.
So that's finally going to see light. I can't remember who else belongs in the Hulk world. There's like Red Hulk and Gray Hulk.
Yeah.
Um,
Me and you have debated the Hulk that is now. Like, you like him. I hate him.
yeah,
I like Berserk Hulk.
I mean, I don't get the point in it. Like, who do you root for? I don't get it. Like, I want the other guys to
think
beat the Hulk when he's like that.
I think that's why I do like it, because it's chaos.
Yeah.
And you don't know. It gives you that independent variable where you, like Captain America, you know what you're getting.
Yeah.
Like with all these characters, you know what you're getting. And then you kind of got guys like the Punisher,
Uh-huh.
where you're like, is he good? Is he bad? And then you got the Hulk that you just can't control.
Just chaos.
It's just chaos. Whatever he does, he could be pounding on the bad guy. And if you get too close to him, you get hit. He doesn't care. He has no bias. And that's what I like. And then like the Hulk that's in like Endgame, I can't stand that Hulk.
I love that Hulk. Because otherwise, like, what is the plot? Like, what is the conflict? Is it like man versus himself? Is it the Hulk? He can't control himself? Or is it everybody against the Hulk?
Well,
is
I mean,
it like,
to me, that is what the Hulk was. I mean, like, didn't Stan Lee say that's how the Hulk came about, was every person has this rage inside of them?
Yeah.
Period. Like,
right.
Like, to me, you don't have to look any deeper. I think when you go into the character that is the Hulk in the Endgame, just make him a different character.
Okay.
Don't make him a Hulk. Just make him a different character. Like Beast. Basically, the Hulk that's in Endgame is Beast. This really smart, strong guy, but doesn't really use his strong parts anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I hated. Here's the part that I hated in Endgame. I was force-fed the smart Hulk. Okay, I could do it. But when it came time to turn it on. And he did the thing where they went back in time and he was like, oh, look at me, rar, rar. And he like kind of picked up a car and moved it to the side. Where it was almost like he was like, this is stupid. This is stupid that I have these muscles. I want to use my brain. Fine, use your brain. Don't be the Hulk. I think that's what I don't like. I don't like that the character that they took Bruce Banner, who should be Hulk, but then they made Bruce Banner the Hulk a different character.
Yeah. I just I can't get on board with him as a hero. Like, he's just like that crazy comic book Hulk. See, yeah. I don't mind the Hulk in Thor, like in Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Because he's all Hulk, but he's also like, he knows what's up. Like, he's fighting for good. He's not, like you can talk to him. They can kind of reason with him, and then he is on the good side. Or the Hulk in Age of Ultron, because like he's fighting with them, and then they get him to calm down. Like they say, the sun's going down, big guy.
Yeah.
Like, I can get on board with that Hulk. The Hulk that I hate, this is why. Because when I was a kid, they had the Incredible Hulk TV show.
Yeah.
And that is like, sure, it was like, it was like cookie cutter. There's like, he's David Banner, and then he becomes the Hulk when he gets mad. He beats up the bad guys, and then he won't hit women. Like, he's got, like, there's no like moral gray area except that he's going to beat up bad guys. He'll beat up good guys if they start attacking him, but he's not just fucking shit up. Like, to me, there's no plot there. And that's what I feel like happens with the Hulk in the comics. You're just like, okay, destroying shit. I don't like it.
I think that's what I like.
Okay.
Because I think I like that bit of chaos that plays into, like, I love the fact that the Hulk in his own comics can just go through his timeline and never be like good, or like he's just absolutely acting on whatever he feels at that moment. And I think that's what Stan Lee wanted as a character. Now, mind you, Stan Lee himself changed the character later. So maybe he got to that place where he was like you're saying,
Can't do anything with this.
I can't do anything more with this guy. He has to have a different storyline. But that's not what Joe Yerke, that's not what I like to see. So
You
the
want
fact
Hulk
that-
smash.
yeah, the fact that within the Marvel movies, because we're not like, if you go back to the Edward Norton, the Hulk movie where it was just the Hulk solo movie,
Yeah.
like, I can't really remember the plot of that, but he was just kind of same thing. He was just kind of going crazy and they were trying to control him. When it went to the Marvel, the Hulk is
That was Marvel. By the way, that was the
Marvel?
first. Yeah, Marvel got it. The one that sucked was the Universal one with Eric Bana.
Yes, you're right. You're right. But I feel so in the Avengers, I feel like Hulk is a supporting character. Like Hulk isn't, I don't feel like you build I don't feel like you build a franchise around Hulk. I do feel like he's that supporting character. And I think that's what I like. I like the chaos of the supporting character. I'm going to make, like a stupid reference, like Seinfeld. When Kramer had his own show that lasted 2 episodes and was canceled because the character of Kramer didn't work by himself.
Yeah.
But as a group, the craziness of Kramer made that made that part of the show. That's how I feel about Hulk.
Yeah,
So
I'm into that because
Hulk movie 1 after 2 after 3. Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do.
When the Hulk is in the Avengers, he's like, even when he's total raged out Hulk, like it's maneuverable. He's part of that team.
Yes.
Mostly. I mean, there's parts where he like where Tony had to get the Hulk Buster, but that's that's also
that
part of the Hulk.
Chaos.
Sure.
Yeah, that adds to that, like, oh my gosh, how are we going to control him? So when Tony tells Loki, we have a Hulk.
Yeah.
You have an army, but we have a Hulk. Like, we have this hydrogen bomb. We have this nuclear bomb that we don't know when it's going to go off, but we have it. Like, how are you going to deal with that? So that's what I like about it. So then when Endgame came around was it at the end of because Infinity War where like the Hulk didn't want to come out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Infinity War, Hulk didn't want to come out. And so I was like, in my mind, I'm like, okay, this is building up to where in Endgame, Hulk is going to come out. Like, he was scared, but it's to the point, just like Captain America's got to tighten his shield and stand up and be like, let's me against the universe. Like, that's when the Hulk is going to come out. That's what I was thinking.
But right at the beginning, Thanos had the Power Stone and he just beat his ass. Like, he knocked him unconscious.
Yes. And so that's why I wanted like Hulk to come back in some way to like make up for taking the L, getting the loss. Like, I want him to come back with the win. I didn't want him to come back as like a guy taking selfies with kids at the diner and one-liner jokes and like that's not Hulk to me. Like, so I didn't like that.
I agree with you. Like, if that was my favorite character, I would be bummed to see him reduced to that.
Like, if Tony Stark, if you emotionally invest in this character through the whole thing, and then in Endgame, Tony Stark becomes the complete opposite of what he is.
Yeah.
And he just becomes a silly, like, Jim Carrey character. And that's how I felt about my character. Like, my guy is the Hulk. And that bummed me out.
That's how I felt about Captain America in the first Avengers. I was like, oh, cool, Joss Whedon. You made a cartoon out of my favorite character. Like, just like, I feel like the first Captain America movie is really good until they get to Europe. And then it just became like, it was like one of the first 3 movies Marvel did. And I think they had just signed on to Disney. So Disney kind of bankrolled it. But like, I don't think Joe Johnston should have directed that. I think they were just like, yeah, this guy knows what's up. He worked on Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it was good up until that point, and it looked good. And then it just became like I hate that they did away with the whole Nazi thing. Like they were like, this is too scary for kids. But that's like part of who Cap is. You know,
That's
that he fought the Nazis.
Yeah.
Right. So they did away with that. And then they just made it be like all these cartoony lasers and then just like kind of this fight montage where he's like, hey, these kind of cartoony looking guys that are his sidekicks that we're just going to shoehorn in there because it's like Sergeant Fury's type stuff. And then Cap's going to fight with them, with these cartoon guys. And I didn't like that. But up until that point, it was amazing. So good.
I felt like Captain America was always what we wanted to see coming off the pages of the comic. So you read the comic and what you thought was in your head, then when you saw it on the screen, you were like, oh my gosh, this is so rad.
Yeah.
And with what you're talking about, I felt that too, but I felt like instead of it coming off the pages onto the big screen, I felt like the big screen took it back to the comic.
Yeah.
Because it got like so cartoony and lasery and
like
jumping over big chasms. And,
yes. Like jumping tanks and shit. Like, did no one show Joe Johnston the freaking ultimate like Avengers? Did you read that? Like where where it introduces Cap in that, and he's just like swearing, like spitting bullets out, getting shot and spitting bullets out, and just this tough kind of army guy. And then you're like, that's the Cap I want to see, is just like this war hero.
Yeah.
Not a cartoon. And then especially just the outfit that he had to wear for the first Avengers. Like it was just like Joss Whedon was like, I don't know what to do with this guy. What does he do? What's his power? He throws this shield around. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You missed the whole point.
Good lightning over your shoulder.
Yeah. Hopefully the kids are asleep now. That was a long talk about Avengers Age of Ultron.
Yeah. And you brought up Superman, which wanted me to bring up yet another movie.
Okay.
Here's the thing. From growing up, I only ever knew Christopher Reeve from Superman. So I saw him act in all the Superman and stuff like that. And then I've never seen him in any other role other than Superman. Well, here's the thing. My family goes up to Mackinac Island. And while we're up at Mackinac Island, Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour.
Dude, that movie is awesome.
Yeah, filmed A Moment in Time.
Yeah.
On Mackinac Island. So Heidi and I, my brother-in-law Eric is a movie buff.
That movie is so good.
So he busts out like the DVD. So Heidi and I watch it last weekend. Christopher Reeve is freaking ripped.
Yeah.
Like, even him as Superman, like, you're thinking in your head, like, this is Superman. He's got to look a certain way. Seeing him in that movie, he's like wearing like an old timey suit and stuff. That dude is buff. If he's not smiling, he looks like a freaking hunk.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he smiles, he's got a bad smile. And you're like, ew, don't smile. Like, just deadpan it and you look good. But as soon as he smiles, you're like, now he kind of looks like a rat. But that movie, Heidi and I like watched it and we get to the end and we were like, what did we just watch? We were like, that is the most crazy, like bizarre movie. It kept our interest.
Yeah.
What's funny is Heidi thought about that movie for days after.
Yeah.
Like
It's-
days after we would be doing something and she'd be like, I'm thinking about that movie. Like just out of the blue. And I'm like, what? Like, what are you thinking about? And she's like, I don't know, time travel and Christopher Reeve. And I only know Jane Seymour from like being older, you know,
Yeah.
as like Kitty Cat in Wedding Crashers. Holy cow. She was a pretty lady, like when
Dude,
she was in her young years.
She's pretty now.
Well, I mean, she's pretty now, but to see her like younger then and just like, oh my goodness, like
Yeah.
she was a good looking woman.
Smoking. Dude,
But
that
movie's great.
remember, like, you'd go to your dad's and he had HBO and that was just playing all the time. Like every day you could watch that. Dude, there was a good year where we watched that probably 30 times because it would just.
I had never
this
even
movie's on.
heard of that movie
So good.
until we went to Mackinac Island. And then like when you're on Mackinac, if you do like a bike ride, for those people that don't know, there's no cars allowed on Mackinac Island.
Yeah.
And so all there are horses and bicycles. And so like if you bike around the island, they have like little plaques and stuff. And it'll say like Christopher Reeve and Jane Seymour were here in this scene. And then the theater that they like, the theater where he like first sees her and all that stuff is the theater on Mackinac Island. And so like we went to the theater, and again, at this point, we have no clue that this movie has ever been made. And it was a rainy, cold day. We were kind of by ourselves in an area and we were like, oh, let's see if this building is open. And the building was the theater. So we open it and there's a guy there. He's like, hi, can I help you? And we were like, oh, what's in here? And he's like, nicest dude in the world. He's like, come on in. So me, Heidi, and the girls all walk in there. He's like, come on in here. He takes us into like the theater area and he's like, have you seen A Moment in Time? And we're like, no. And he's like, Christopher Reeve sat right here in this seat. And there's like a little plaque on the seat.
Jeez.
And he's like, he sat right here, and this is where this scene was filmed, and this is where this scene was filmed, and he was gone. And so Heidi and I are looking at each other like, what is he talking about? So then we like look it up. We're like, oh, a movie was filmed. Parts of a movie were filmed here on Mackinac Island. So it was cool. And then when we watched it, obviously from it being filmed, and I think it was filmed in like 1980, or it came out in 1980. So it was probably filmed in 78 or 79. To see like Mackinac Island now, and then back then when they filmed it, it was so cool, like watching it being like, oh, that's no longer there. That's now this. Or you're like, oh, that's still there. Like that thing is still there.
Yeah.
So it was cool. And like the big Grand Hotel. If you guys, I know I put the plug in earlier, listeners, if you're ever looking for something to do, it's pricey, but you can make it work. But Mackinac Island in Michigan is a phenomenal vacation and getaway. It is so much fun. It is so cool. And that's where this was filmed.
Yeah. And if you want to visit the hospital where he went after he broke his neck, you can go to Charlottesville and then listen to Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, wait, what happened? I'm thinking like I'm thinking in the movie. I'm like, he didn't break his neck in the movie. In real life.
I was here.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a tough one.
That was a Debbieist of downers right there.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like I only knew Christopher Reeve from those Superman movies, and then he got hurt. And I think he got hurt. I think I was still like in high school. I think we looked it up. I think he got hurt in 93 or 94.
Okay.
And
like 98.
Yeah, but he didn't, to my knowledge, he hadn't been in movies around that time. His career was kind of over after Superman.
Yeah. I think he couldn't play anything without people associating him with Superman.
Yeah.
That happened to George Reeve, the guy that played Superman in the in the 50s. Like he's on some movie. What's that movie where the people are making out and the water's going over them?
What?
Yeah. It's like
Let me
black and
repeat what
white.
you just said. What is that movie where the people are making out in the waters?
They're
going
on the
over them?
beach, they're making out. It's like From Here to Eternity. I think
Oh.
that's what it is. He's in it. And I saw some documentary and then like when they were showing the test versions, like everybody laughed when they saw him. They're like, oh man, it's Superman. And so they cut his part. So, and then really he couldn't get a job after that.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. And then he killed himself.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's brutal.
I know.
That's brutal. I'm seeing my little sound waves on the bottom and they're real small. So I want to make sure that I'm coming through.
I hear you. Daniel Rock can fix it with compression.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so Christopher Reeve and yeah, so only knowing him from Superman and then seeing him in this like romantic, but he's like romantic, but he's also like comedic.
Yeah.
Like there's like a comedy aspect of the movie. Like he has some good like zingers, some kind of like
zings.
zing-yum.
Zing.
But I think the biggest thing is I need to ask my brother-in-law why he owns the DVD of that movie.
Because
Like,
it's
the whole time
rad.
Heidi and I are watching it, we're like, what? Like, my brother-in-law loves the horror genre, and like the cheesier, the better.
Uh-huh.
So I'm waiting for like, okay, at what point in this movie does someone's head fall off? Is this about time travel and it screws up somebody's brain and they kill somebody and, eat a monkey? I didn't know what. And so the movie ended. I was like, that is the weirdest movie I've watched in a while. And even weirder, why does Eric own it?
What would be an amazing movie is like another movie about how that created like an alternate timeline.
Yeah.
Like referring back to it. And then it ends with somebody finding a 1975 penny. Isn't that the year on it?
Yeah, I think 75 or 79, something like that. Yeah. That was something, man. That
Hollywood, get off your high horse and make that movie.
You know what a movie that I always wanted to be made, and I still want it made? I think it's Edgar Allan Poe. I think it's Edward Allan Poe, The Great Hoax.
I don't know about this.
It's a short story about a guy who goes to the moon in a hot air balloon. And he builds a hot air balloon. So this is like prior to like planes being invented, space shuttles, all that stuff. So it's like back in like Edgar Allan Poe timey.
Yes.
And a guy has a hot air balloon and it talks about going to the moon. And so through this short story, it like he takes a pregnant cat with him. So the pregnant cat, as they're getting up into like thinner air, the cat so the cat like has kittens. And as they get into thinner air, the cat dies.
Okay.
But the kittens are born in this thin air, so they adapt to it.
Huh.
And so the kittens are living, and so that makes the like guy realize like how he has to control his breathing and stuff like that. It's great. Let me make sure it's Poe.
Also, he's not a graduate of UVA in Charlottesville. I think he was expelled or he flunked out. He dropped out.
Let's see. Oh, I am completely wrong. So this is The Great Moon Hoax, also known as The Great Moon Hoax of 1835. It was a series of 6 articles published in The Sun, a New York newspaper beginning on August 25th, 1835, about the supposed discovery of life and even civilization on the moon. The discoveries were falsely attributed to Sir John Herschel, one of the best-known astronomers at the time, and his fictitious companion, Andrew Grant. The story was advertised on August 21st, 1835, as an upcoming feature allegedly reprinted from the Edinburgh Current. The first in a series of 6 was published 4 days later on August 25th. So if you can read that, if you can read those 6 articles that, combine together, make it the short story, read it.
Okay.
Like we read it we read it in like 7th grade. And so like we went around the class, how everyone reads a paragraph and it just goes around the class and, goes back. So we read this whole story in like 7th grade and it's great. I remember it being great. And I'm like, why don't they make this into a movie? I need to go back and reread it. But it was great. I thought it was by Edgar Allan Poe. I thought I read it in 7th grade and liked it so much. I thought I bought like this big, thick Edgar Allan Poe story, like short stories.
Yeah.
I thought it was in there, but obviously I'm wrong.
Have you ever read the C.S. Lewis Paralandra and
No.
Out of the Silent Planet and That Hideous Strength?
No.
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like That Hideous Strength is probably it's the last and it's probably the worst of them, but it's still amazing.
So it's a trilogy book?
Yeah, it's like C.S. Lewis, he wrote like the Screw Tape Letters and he wrote the Chronicles of Narnia. Like those are his fiction works. This is like science fiction. It's really good.
And what's it called?
Well, the first one is called, I think, Out of the Silent Planet. The second one is Paralandra, and the third one is called That Hideous Strength.
I'm writing those down.
It's rad.
I'm in the mood to read a new book.
Okay.
And no comics are like grabbing me.
Comics.
No comic arcs are grabbing me.
Okay.
One of the last things I want to talk about,
what is your
quite a
rapper name?
transition. What is your rapper name?
I gotta polish this up because I almost quit 5-iron today. I gotta work on my rap.
Why? What happened with 5-iron?
Dude, it's so much dumb drama. I don't want to get into it. It's just
You almost
like,
quit?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, okay, I heard this interview with Bono, and he was talking about, they were like, how have you guys stayed together? And he's like, honestly, everyone in the band quits at least once a year. And then they go home and sleep on it and then come back and then we work out whatever we got going on. And I don't know if it's like that for the other guys in 5-iron, but definitely for me. I think about it all the time. I'm just like, this is the time. I cannot. Yeah, there's been shows I've almost just like thrown my mic down and just walked off.
Oh my. Like, I know that was like with me and Kyle. Like, I was like, I'm done if this guy's still in the band. And it was always the same thing. Just sleep on it. You'll be fine in the morning. And then when I was like, that's it, I'm done. Next tour, when that tour is done, I am done. And it's like, sleep on it. And I slept on it and I was like, oh, that's the greatest decision I've ever made. Like Tim was like, no. I think we need to.
It's supposed to go the other way, Joe.
I'm like, no, I think you were right. I made my decision. I slept on it. This is going to be perfect.
Then did you guys break up and then get back together, just leaving Kyle out of the equation?
We did. So then we broke up. We broke up and then it was 10 years before we got back together.
Wait, was Kyle on soundtrack for Revolution?
No.
Okay, was it then?
Yeah.
That was 10 years?
Yeah.
No way.
So between our last album, which was Scalleluja 2, like we ceased touring as a band in like 2001. And then Soundtrack to Revolution, I think, came out in 2005.
It did?
Yeah. Or wait.
Maybe.
So that wouldn't have been 10 years.
I remember being in Roper and wearing your, like, it was like Che Guevara, but it was Jesus
Yeah.
t-shirt.
Yeah.
So maybe it was around 2005.
Yeah, let me see.
That's not 10 years, by the way, Joe.
No, it's not at all. Soundtrack to a Revolution. Insiders.
One of these kids is rustling around up there.
Because it's summer.
Wreaking havoc.
It's summer.
Kids, are you wreaking havoc? It's Lyndon. She's playing Oculus. She told me she took 2 melatonin. This is not what's happening.
It came out in 2003. So we broke up for 2 years. Got back together. Did that. And then did a 10-year stretch. And then put out Sinner's Songbook.
With no Kyle.
Yeah. Soundtrack was no Kyle. And Sinner's Songbook was no Kyle.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm having a rough time. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to do this.
What makes you not want to do it? Like, what brought you to the end? Like, why are you like, see, we always had the thing, because when I think of your situation, I can't help but put my own situation there. So like for us, we were like, we're going to be done. We're breaking up when this becomes a job. Like, we want this to be fun.
Yeah.
This
you
is a
said
ministry.
that, and I would slap that person if I was in that room. I'd be like, listen, dude, I have just come here from the future. I shove people's assholes back in them for a living. Today I pulled a hairbrush out of somebody's pants and they had shat all over it. Don't quit.
Yeah.
That's what it is a good job. It wasn't a good job. I mean, it wasn't like you guys had health insurance. We didn't have any safety net, and we were not making very much because we felt guilty about charging a lot for tickets.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I would love to do it for a living. I think we've talked about that on the show. But now I just get pissed at guys in the band because I'm like, my thing right now is like, if
you don't have to bring up, and here's the thing,
I don't have to name their names.
I'm going to be your safety net right now because we started this conversation off where you said I don't want to talk about it.
I don't.
So I don't want you to talk about it and then have to call Daniel Rock and say, hey, you know what? Let's take all this out. So if you don't even have to talk about it.
I'll talk about it just briefly. I get really upset.
All right, so what's the tea? Spill the tea.
I get really upset because I feel like, and we've talked about this, and why I started the 5 Iron Frenzy, I Hate 5 Iron Frenzy group, is I just feel like there are people in 5 Iron that don't give a shit. Like, they don't care how much effort the other people are putting into it. They just are like, I don't want to, I don't want to give up my vacation time for this. Or, I don't want to have to ask for the day off. Like that kind of stuff. And you're like, well, this affects everyone, not just you. It affects all these people in the bands, like all that they have invested in it, all that they hope for in this, all the fans, like all the people that love your band. It affects the future of us making albums. It affects all the people that worked really hard on those albums, all the people that get paid because we produce the albums, but they're just like, I don't feel like it. And that pisses me the fuck off. I get so mad. I'm just like, just get out of your own head for a second. Like you're saying you're doing this because we're friends and you want to hang out with your friends, but like, I don't treat my friends like that. Like if my friends are like, hey man, you know what makes me really excited is I want to go to this place. I'm not going to be like, no, thanks. That's not my favorite place. That's not what I want to do. Like, but there's like several people in the band that do that. And then there are 3 or 4 of us that get excited and try and put effort into it. And either it gets bogged down in communication because one person in the band processes everything by talking out loud or texting and talking and talking and talking. So you're just like, hey, we need to make a decision on this. And that person is like, what about this idea? What about this? What about this? What about this? Hey, what about this? What if we did this? And you're like,
Leonore. I can tell that's Leonore.
it gets frustrating. Like, I got mad because we're like, the guy that books our shows is like, he's like, I don't know if we can do this. You guys cost so much to play shows because you got to bring money home to your families. Some of the guys, you know, like their wives get upset if they're like, hey, I took off a weekend. They need a check. So I'm not going to argue with that. I don't have any ground to stand on because my wife divorced me so I'm not saying my
plug.
my way to do it was better, but like if that's what keeps their marriage together, they have to bring home money to show that them being a rock star is valuable. Fine. Let them do that. So that costs money. And then there's 8 of us and we have to fly into these places. So like we were traveling with a sound guy. Sound guy was booking all the stuff for us. Now we're not. We're just getting a sound guy at the place. We're kind of coaching him through what our sound is like and hoping for the best. And then I used to book our flights and stuff. So I was like, I'll just start doing that again. Here's what I'm asking is that if you guys have any special requests, please don't bog me down with this because I have a job and I got a lot of shit going on. Don't bog it all down. There's a person in a band who does it every time. When I was booking it before or Amy was doing it, this person would have 5 different changes because that person wanted to meet up with 15 of their friends at the show and they wanted to bring this family member. Then they changed their mind and then they wanted to come home on this day and then they want to do this. And then can they do this? And can somebody pick them up from this airport, which is 50 miles away? Or can they do this? And so I said specifically, this person, don't do that. If you're going to do that, this person, book your own flight. And then, you know, like I'm looking up flights, I'm booking them. And then this person was trying to help because they kept on just telling everyone, hey, there's a sale. Have we bought tickets yet? Have you done this? And, you know, like I'm working, you know, like I don't have time to look up the sale, but
I'm beating up kids.
3 or 4 times it was a false alarm. It wasn't even a sale. So then people got panicky and they bought their own tickets. And now instead of all the Denver people flying in at one time, getting picked up at one time, there's 6 different people coming in at different times, different cars, all this stuff.
Oh, Lord.
And I was like, done. I'm like, I'm done. I just like, don't be considerate. That's the message. Like, be considerate of other people in the band that they invest maybe more than you in making an album, or it's harder for them to get to the shows, or it means more to them. Like, don't shit on it. And don't, like, if somebody's doing all this work, don't get in there and like mess it up. So this is why I want to quit Five Iron, because it turned into this huge fight where everybody's mad. And I think they're calling me to the carpet because I used bad words. And I'm being
of that,
treated.
I had to turn the latest podcast off because I was listening to it with my daughter, and I said something, and you're like, F you, but obviously you're not saying F. You're like, oh, F you. You're like, F and shut up. F you. And like my daughter's like, whoa. And I was like, click. I like shut it off. I was like, yeah, he gets a little salty every now and then.
Every episode.
Yeah.
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 You know, and this is the thing. Like, I feel like if you don't swear, I get it. You don't want to swear in certain contexts, and that's great. If you're one of these people that is like, we've talked about this, like swearing is bad. It's a sin. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. I think if you don't swear, you're lying. Like you think it and you swear under your breath. Everybody does it. It's natural. Like it is powerful. And I think that's the message I give my kids. I'm like, look, you can say these when you're 18. They're not bad. These words aren't bad, but they can hurt people. They can do damage and they can upset people. But, you know, I told Lyndon about what happened. I was like, I swore for emphasis. And that's why people are mad at me, because I used those words. And that's why I don't want you to use them until you're older, because they're very strong words. And some people can't handle it. So you have to be careful.
Friend, like, my dad's effing lost his mind. Love him.
I hear, like, with the door closed, she'll drop some F-bombs.
Oh.
She does. When she's playing, every once in a while, I'll catch her saying it under her breath, which is fine. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, she knows not to swear in front of me. She knows not to, you know, like, she knows if I hear it, I'm going to get mad. She doesn't swear in front of her mom. You know, that's the lesson. Control your tongue. These words, you know, these are powerful words. Sure. And she's getting it. And I'm glad about that. And I'm also happy for the day when she's 18 and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, me and my daughter went from laughing at some of the stupid stuff. We talked about what were we talking about? Our soft, sweet parts or our tasty, sweet parts.
Jeez.
Went from like laughing hysterically at that because I'm laughing at my daughter laughing at us.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I hit end, as soon as we hit hang up on the call, I don't remember what we talk about.
True. Then, even when I would edit it, that was part of why I was editing it, because I was like, I have no idea what I said last night. Yeah, so now it's all in Daniel Rock's hands.
Yeah. And then when you listen to it, I feel like I'm listening to a completely different podcast because I don't remember what we talked about. I don't remember what we laughed about. And so my daughter's listening to it and she's cracking up, which is making me crack up. And then all of a sudden you just start cussing at me. She's like, what the world? Oh. All right, you guys, we are at the hour 10 mark.
We did it.
So, like the Netherlands 10 mark. So anyway, we're out of here. You guys feel free to sign up for Patreon. It's as low as $5 a month to get all the extra content. You get our backlog of all the extra stuff. There are interviews and stuff on there that you can't find. I don't think you can find on the freebie. Again, for as low as $5 a month, you get 4-ish. We say 4-ish extra hours of content a month, which is, what's that? 52-ish extra hours a year to hear us. Think of that. 104 hours-ish of us yapping away that you can get a year. So sign up for it. And what Reese and I are doing is we've started a new thing where each and every week on the Patreon, we each take a song kind of in chronological order. And we're going to be going over those songs. So last week we did Buddy Boy and the Old West. This week we are doing The Walking Dead from the Insiders. And what are we doing from 5 Iron?
Well, I don't know, whatever the second song is on Upbeats and Beatdowns.
Good. I'm glad you're prepared.
Was I supposed to look it up?
So you guys, you know what? I take all that back. Don't give us your $5 because some people in our little thing, they don't take things seriously. Some guys put in a whole lot of work and they like to do stuff, and other people burden things down.
You're right.
See what I did there?
Jeez.
Yeah, see what I did? So this guy ain't prepared.
Joe, I want to talk about you, not me.
Okay.
You're the
No,
one
you
I
want to
care
talk about your bandmates, not you.
Yes,
No, I want to tell you how unprepared and bogged down they get, not me.
Not me.
So anyway, you guys, sign up for Patreon or don't. I actually, you know what? Don't. And because we know you'll hate it. So anyway, we'll talk to you later. Bye.
Mwah. Piece of pizza.
What'd you just kiss?
And it was at my own butt.
You've been doing yoga.
I know.
Good job. All right, well, we should do that again. See ya.
Pia.
You wouldn't want a diarrhea.
Okay, bye.